Okay, today we're going to look at a clip from Instant Family, a film I haven't seen, but that takes a look at Thanksgiving dinner, which can often be super stressful for many people. And I'm sure this one is going to offer some deep insights for us. Let's take a look.
Honey, put those down, please. Thank you. All right, come on, everybody. Honey, come on. Jeez. All right, everybody. Hands. Hands. Thank you. Eyes closed. I'm thankful for my beautiful grandchildren, including the very lucky kids that are soon to be adopted by two wonderful parents.
I'm really thankful for that, too. I mean, that is really inspiring stuff, you guys. Well done.
Yeah, about that, actually,
Yeah, we've decided together not to move forward with the foster thing.
Yeah, we just realized we hadn't thought it through properly, so.
Yeah, Jesus Christ. This is great news. I mean, we were all being supportive to your faces.
Oh, yeah,
but...
we all thought you were out of your minds.
I never said anything, but I'm thankful to hear this.
What? Why?
Ellie, let's not. We're
No,
all
no,
holding
no. I
hands.
would be
Let's just-
thankful to know why you.
Oh man, this is complicated. In negotiation, we talk about really two things, what I often call left-hand column and right-hand column. Right-hand column is the transcript. It's what people are saying in a conversation. The left-hand column is what people are thinking and not saying. But here we are at this Thanksgiving meal, which starts with a prayer that looks like a typical right-hand column. Polite stuff. Thank you for soon to be adopting our children. But then quickly moves to what I would call unfiltered left-hand material. We think it's a bad idea. We've always thought it's a bad idea. Now, one of the goals in a difficult conversation is how do you move that left-hand column material into the right-hand column in a way that is productive and that the other side can hear? I don't think we're here just yet, but let's see what happens.
You all have a problem with
Hey,
this.
I never had a problem with it.
I think it's kind of smart. Have a couple kids without the pregnancy and the hormones and the rage.
Stop talking.
Ellie, all I'm saying is that we're thankful that you and Peter are going to experience having the love of your own beautiful children rather than...
Rather than what, Jen? Just spit it out.
Hell, I'll say it. Rather than just rolling the dice with the offspring of some criminal or drug addict.
To be honest, we were worried about our real kids' safety. What? Were they to hang out with your kids if they're...
Oh, damaged goods? You know, because when I was growing up in the neighborhood, a lot of people thought I was damaged goods, too.
Pete, we're not talking about you, man. We're talking about, crack babies and kids who have been sexually harassed.
Sexually harassed? What do you mean, like their parents maybe made lewd comments?
You know what I mean, wise ass.
Open your stupid eyes.
How long has everyone's eyes been open?
Okay, I kind of want to keep going forward, but I'm cringing right here, right? Because there's so much to unpack already. From the maybe worked well perspective, there's something to be said about the honesty going on here. From the do differently perspective, I'm imagining if you're like me, there's a lot of offensive stuff happening with a lot of embedded assumptions that really go to deep conflicts around values. So clearly the character played by Mark Wahlberg and his wife are people who, wherever they're landing on adoption, have some values around the individual kind of worth and dignity of young people, regardless of their past. They're concerned about categorizing or making assumptions about one's potential based on wherever they come from and their parents. And clearly there's some other people here in the family who have very quickly shown a different value set. Now, we could call that value set really bad, and in some ways kind of is bad. The notion calling a young child a crack baby feels pretty unacceptable to me. On the other hand, right, there are some values here that maybe are shared, right, or at least worth considering. There's clearly a value of keeping children safe. There's clearly a value of saying there's something about the worth of having your own children, the experience of that versus adoption. What we see very little of in this moment is any actual listening. So we have a clash of values. We have a clash of narratives, and it's getting somewhat explosive. And there's a lot of what I would call sidetracking here, which is constant changings of topics without digging in. We have a little bit more to go, so let's see what happens.
Kimmy, you of all people, what if you can't have a baby?
Do not put that out into the universe,
Well, what if
please.
you can't?
What,
Oh my
what are
gosh,
you gonna do?
Kim, if you don't quit being so nuts about this baby thing, I swear to God, I'm gonna get pregnant again this afternoon just to spite you. And you know I can do it.
Really?
No.
I'm sorry if we're not as politically correct as you guys, but our baby has to be our blood.
Yes, absolutely.
Oh my God, our blood! This blood right here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Jerry, what do you think of all this?
I'd be thankful if we could eat, Russ.
You just spent 30 minutes talking about the deep state. You don't have an opinion on your own family?
None of my business.
Thank you, Daddy. And I would like you all to know that thousands of children are spending Thanksgiving without any family at all. And right now, I kind of envy them. But I know you guys love me. I know that I have a place to go to eat turkey and be thankful. But a lot of kids don't have that. And it's not their fault. And they're not damaged goods. So forget what I said before. It is back on. That's okay with you, honey?
Yeehaw, baby.
Yeehaw! We're gonna adopt a whole shitwhack of kids. And I am thankful that whoever has a problem with it can fuck right off.
Amen.
Amen. There's a good outcome. Okay. So, can a conversation like this ever actually go well? I want to say it can. It depends on what your purpose is, and it depends on how you approach it. One thing I want to observe here, right, is I think many of us, when we're thinking about Thanksgiving dinner, we're a little bit like Dad there. We're a little bit like, I don't want to say anything, right? I'm going to be avoidant. Let's look at the football game and eat the turkey and have some fun. On the one hand, right, that looks really attractive and inviting. On the other hand, right, it's a missed opportunity, because there actually is a lot that can be learned around some of these difficult conversations if folks can find a way to have that conversation in a successful way. And so what are some tips for how to do that? Well, first, try not to do it in reaction to some provoking comment that might come across the table from your relative. If something provoking does come across the table, in that moment, right, it might be actually helpful to name to yourself the feelings you're feeling, and try to think about, does it make sense to open this up in a more productive way later, not at the dinner table with everybody there. But gosh, are there some things to learn here? There are. Because as much as this family looks like a complete mess to me, my empathy side, my negotiation and conflict resolution side kind of feels like there's some ways in which each of these parties has something sympathetic about them and some shared values, right? A shared value around the importance of family, a shared value around celebrating Thanksgiving and being together, a shared value about raising children well. Now, what that looks like to each of these people is really quite different, but finding a way to set up some time and say, we often don't see eye to eye on many things, and I don't want our whole time on Thanksgiving to be discussing all those things, but I also realize that if we never talk about those things, I'll never understand where you're coming from. And over time, there'll be less and less that we connect on. And that would make me really sad. So I wonder whether on this one or two thing, we could have a productive conversation where I promise to be curious about the way you see it, and where I'd ask you to do the same with me. And maybe we could have some kind of code if one of us says something that feels really triggering, upsetting, that we could agree to apologize and then decide whether to discuss it later. There's all sorts of things to unpack in this, right? Because I want to say, right, some of this stuff can feel like beyond difficult conversation because it feels so offensive. On the other hand, if we don't find ways to talk about that with each other, then no one can learn at all. So if Thanksgiving is coming up and you're worried that you might be in a hopefully less chaotic but otherwise similar situation with your family, spend some time in advance thinking about, is there one hard conversation with someone in your family that you can initiate? What will you do if something really triggering comes up that would be productive? And how can you not be like that dad, completely avoidant and pretending that there isn't something to learn, isn't something of value by engaging your family more? If you want to look at some more Reacts videos filled with negotiation lessons, watch this one on Ted Lasso. And if you want to more about difficult conversations, consider taking a class with me at the Cambridge Negotiation Institute. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel, hit like, and ring the bell. Okay, you know you love Ted Lasso. Keep watching.